first place I met you was at a investor meetup called, the Roots Masterclass. And
wow, I wonder who the guys who put that together.
I don't know.
They're pretty cool.
Never
They're,
met
they're, they're handsome too, right?
but yeah, you're at the Roots Indie Investor Masterclass, and we were talking about some of the investments you have. That's something most may not know. And also, when people go and look through your social media, they're going to go, well, this guy does nothing about real estate, but owns real estate, which is a cool perspective for our audience to go, you can go after what you're passionate about, but also still own investment properties.
Oh yeah. I think that's so smart. And it's like, you see I kind of am one of the ones that like, I get interested in something and I just like go try to do it. So I think I had seen a blog post or read an article or a forum somewhere about house hacking. And that was the first thing I did. So I had like saved up all my money from all my side hustles and weird things that I did during college. And I invested that and I bought a house right when I graduated, and I rented it out to 3 of my fraternity brothers. And all of a sudden, like every 22-year-old's biggest expense is rent. And all of a sudden I'm getting paid to live every month. So then I took all that, partnered up with with my college roommate and a buddy, and we bought another house in Broad Ripple, and we parlayed that one into another house. And so now I have I'm a part owner in 2 rental properties in Broad Ripple, and then I have my house and a tenant there, which is fun.
So still house hacking now?
Still, I'm ready to graduate and kind of get out of that mode. I mean, I'm 27 now, and I'm not as keen of having a roommate, even though it's great, whatever, it's good. I have no complaints there. I'm kind of ready for the space, but I've done it, for the last 5 years.
When did you buy that one? 5 years ago?
2019.
Yeah. You could probably just take a HELOC on it and go and buy another house.
Yes, sir.
Not have a mortgage and still rent that one out.
Yeah, I could. So then there becomes a point though where, I loved it. I was really interested in it. I would say I'm not interested in real estate, but I'm less interested in putting the time into it. Like I manage my own.
It's not your main thing.
No.
Like it's a cool passive side investment.
Yes.
Yeah. The reason I brought up the HELOC was not to say go buy a bunch of properties, but to say over the past 5 years, you've accumulated, wealth to be able to go and be a vehicle driver.
When I bought it, it was like a $180,000 house in Broad Ripple. Like I'm right by Broad Ripple Park. You can't find those. There's not at all. The Zestimate is 330.
Yeah.
Like that's a Zestimate. Fair. It's not quite that much, but it's still like there's a decent chunk of equity built up there.
Yeah.
So 2-part question. One, is there a strategy with the Broad Ripple? Like, is there a reason you bought it there? And then 2,
even the Monon, you said that Broad Ripple is supposed to be your motivation and will to finish.
Yeah, I thought it would be. So I chose that because that's where I wanted to live. And then when we were buying houses, I wanted to be close. Because like the last thing I want is like a call from a tenant at 10 p.m. and I have to drive to Fortville. That would just be so extra brutal.
Right.
Like one of the houses is 4 blocks from my house, like where I actually live. And one of my rentals is 4 blocks away, and the other one is 7 minutes. So it's just convenient for me and my lifestyle. Like I don't want to leave my little neighborhood.
How are those going? Like have they been smooth sailing or?
One of them's been amazing, so easy, and it makes all the money. The other one is just a pain, like between that is the issue you run into with Broad Ripple is where some of the houses are older and there's issues, and you have to replace this, that basement has water in it, all that stuff. I mean, all in all, it's not the worst thing. Like it's not as like crazy where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm worried that's going to bankrupt us. But it's not just like, hey, just,
it's not like
autopilot and get a jet.
Cash flow.
Yeah. You're right.
I think that's the thing about real estate. I just had a pipe burst at a rental on Sunday. I got a call from the next door neighbor who was like,
last thing you want to talk about right now is rental properties.
I was just like going out to my front porch, sipping coffee, and I saw water pouring out of your front door. And I get that call. And so I'm like, right now, like rental properties kind of suck. But then like next week you'd ask me, I'd be like, they're amazing. So I feel like with rentals, when it's bad, it's really bad and costly.
When it rains, it pours, dude.
It's like 100K of equity. That's like amazing. It's really hard to find the balance, I find, with rentals at least.
Yeah, it always seems to be just time in the market. And that's like the cheesy thing to say. It's not time in the market, but it's like stuff like that happens, but also 10 years from now, you won't care about that.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, okay, I bought the house, my first house. I plan to never sell it. Like after I move into like my grown-up house. Like I'm not gonna say my house is like a starter house. It's great, really good for me. But one day, I want to live in a nicer.
So where's Nate
What's
Spangle
the
moving
location?
to?
I have no plans to leave the greater Broader Meridian Kessler area at the moment, but ask me in a few years and I don't know. I'm a free agent at some point.